What's going on? It's Jealous from the Time Show, and we are back. Sorry that the stream crashed. Technical difficulties can't be helped. But we're gonna continue where we left off. If you were feeling the show, hit that like and subscribe. And because we're here after every Knicks game talking about Knicks basketball, almost every Knicks game. And but still after every Knicks game, still check here to get a lot of your Knicks talk. And shout out also to Phil from Knicks Nightcap, one of the new shows on KOT show. He is the host of Knicks Nightcap, so he does do a show every Thursday. So you guys who love the KOT show and love Phil's takes and his report, definitely go check out that show on Thursday nights every single Thursday. All right, cool. Now let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. We still have to talk about my guy Mikal Bridges after those picks. We traded all those picks for him. He's been under the microscope for not playing as good defense, for not shooting as well. But the mid-range game has been solid, and he's still contributing as a Knick, and he showed some promise today. Although the three-point shooting wasn't all the way there once again. I know Phil really wanted to talk about Mikal, so I'll talk to you and ask you, what did you think about Mikal's game today versus the Nets?
Yeah, one thing that we've talked about is the front office waited a long time to do, trades that needed to be done this offseason. There's no doubt about that. So a lot of this squad pretty much started playing with each other, playing together right before preseason. It was like one practice and then preseason.
That's
So
right.
I feel like we're seeing the development of this squad, these players, night in and night out. And I think playing a back to back against his old team was exactly what we needed to get McHale, into his element. It's crazy because when our front office was still being stupid as can be, a few years back, I wanted to like freaking fight every single person. I was furious that they signed the French, Zorro and Fournier before they chose DeMar DeRozan, because in that offseason, both of them were on the table for pretty much the same amount of money, one for 3 years, one for two. One for four. And they said Evan Fournier was the future, what this Knicks squad needed. They needed an Evan Fournier. He was the right fit. And I was furious because we needed an actual like mid-level sniper. We needed a mid-level assassin. And instead, we got a guy that ended up, being the crux of our team, bunch of like drama, all this stuff, and we didn't get DeMar DeRozan. However, in McHale, what we are seeing is that he has that DeMar DeRozan mid-range sniper DNA. Like this kid is lethal from the mid-range. And so I love that because it's everything that I wanted in a DeMar DeRozan type mid-level player, but you get better accuracy from three, and you also get what DeMar DeRozan is not, which is elite defense. So for me, I feel like this is something that um, we should not sacrifice his mid-level shooting for more threes. His mid-level shot is needed. I talked about it the other night on the Knicks nightcap. The thing that's been frustrating with some of our Knick games is we start trailing and then we start chucking up threes more and more, even though we're not hitting the threes before we went down. And so we start playing from behind a lot more because every time they go down and score and we miss a three-pointer, then they score again. We're constantly playing catch up. So I feel like this mid-level shot is something that we need to rely on a lot more, is getting a two and not always focused on forcing a three-pointer, because missed three-pointers set us further behind the eight ball than we want to be. That mid-level two, that mid-range two, I think is going to be crucial for us staying in games when the three-pointers are not falling. So I want to see more of that from McHale.
Mm. You know what it is, Phil? You know what I feel like it is? Even though we're not playing the Celtics, I feel like mentally we're chasing the Celtics. Even though we're not playing the Celtics every game, I think that first game when the Knicks played the Celtics and the Knicks shot well and the Celtics shot well, but the Celtics shot more threes than us, has Tibbs thinking we need to shoot more threes. So he actually said it. He's like, we need to shoot more threes. So I think that's why it is. And I think, they actually try to put together a roster to do that. But it's not as natural for us as it is for the Celtics at the moment. And I think that's what's happening. And I do agree that I don't want to sacrifice Mikal's mid-range game because it's so automatic and so reliable. At the same time, though, I do wish that his 3-point shooting would come up a little bit, and I'm still hoping and thinking that it will in good time because he's still shooting 30% from three in general. He shot 3 of 10 from three today. He shot 10 threes today, which is crazy. But it's one of those things. It's like I love our team. I love the makeup. I still feel like for us to reach that pinnacle, we're gonna have to start hitting these threes. But I agree, the Mikal thing, not sacrificing the mid range, is crucial for us. But I'll always say that I wonder if we should lean into him more with the second unit so he can have the freedom to at least get loose in that mid range and then go out to the three. So when it's time to hit those big shots, he's good to do that with the starting unit. That's my thought process anyway. Yeah, I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Lee.
I don't have much to add on Mikal Bridges. I feel like he's getting a little bit of his confidence back. I mentioned last game that he's one of our best shooters, period, from the corners. I think he's at 54% from the right side and 42 or 3% from the left side. So it's at the top, and especially above the break and transition. He's breaked a lot of those that could have been back breakers when we're trying to build up a lead. But mid range is also like the most efficient shot that the Knicks have in their arsenal is when he goes into ISO mode on one of the two elbows and just starts falling back and fading away and knocking down that shot. It doesn't matter how you try to defend it; it's like dirt. With one knee up, you can't stop it. And I love that we have that because last year we counted a lot on iHeart for that push shot, and we're going to need something to replace that. And I think iHeart's Mikal Bridges fadeaway is going to be that go-to bailout shot that we utilize. To me, I care more about his defense. If he stays around 15, 16 points a game and OG maybe bumps up to 18, 19, we can win this championship this year. We don't need Mikal Bridges to average over 20 and us for us to win the chip. What I care more about is Mikal Bridges being our outright best point of attack defender. That's what we haven't seen, and what he was in Phoenix and in opportunities with Brooklyn, but especially Phoenix when he was the fifth option on that team and really guarding the opposing best player. And for us, we have OG to handle the wings and even in fives when he's front end ball denial, but we don't really have someone to guard the Kyrie Irvings and the LaMelo Balls and the Darius Starlins. He's failed in that regard so far. And as I mentioned a couple of pods ago, that's the archetype that really kills us right now. Our Achilles heel are the ones who can score on three levels, that are the lead guard, that are high usage, and can pick us apart in both pick and roll, offensively and defensively. SGA, Garland, I mentioned him before. So if Bridges can become that shutdown, lockdown defender and go back to what he was when he was first team all defense with Phoenix, we're a juggernaut. And we don't need Karl-Anthony Towns to be Mitchell Robinson. We can survive having Hart and OG and Mikal. But to me, Mikal is a linchpin, and that's getting back to being where we were defensively.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And what someone was saying in the chat is like S. Parker, who was like, Bridges is a 2-point in the paint master, magical. Yeah. And that's the thing is like, I'm not saying don't shoot the three. What I'm saying is if the threes are not hitting, why are we going to continue to do something that is not working when we know we have a guarantee in what can work, So if you're down 8 and the 3 continues to not fall, like you're going to shoot another 3 and then miss it and then allow yourself to go down 10 in the fourth, like instead of getting the guarantee bucket, playing some D, cutting down that lead and getting yourself back in the game. Like a guaranteed bucket is a guaranteed bucket. And that, to me, is the most guaranteed bucket that we have as the New York Knicks, is a Mikal 2-pointer. Like, you see that all throughout the game. Clyde continued to talk about it today. Anytime Mikal goes in for that, it's over. Like, he's got that wingspan. He jumps over people. It's so natural and fluent for him, and it doesn't take a lot of time off the clock. And so if we're trying to manage the clock so that we can get back in a game, missing a 3 and hoping to get another opportunity is foolish. When you have a guarantee bucket, then you can lock down on D, get another guarantee bucket. So for me, I want to rely on the things that are guarantees when we need to be in the game, when we need to be back in the game. We're up. He wants to take some threes, go for it. Or if it's to the point that it's like, if we don't score threes, we're going to lose because we only have like a minute and a half left in the game and we're down so much. All right, go for it, chuck it. But when it's games that can be manageable with a 2, I don't think we need to force the 3. I think someone said Shaq was like, the 3-pointer is going to ruin this game. And it is, like the constant need to act like a 3-pointer is the best shot to take. Like percentage-wise, look at it. Field goals in the paint are always higher percentage than 3-point shots. That's why when you look at a score and you're like, oh, he's a 40% free throw, 3-point shooter, you're like, man, that's a good 3-point shooter. But if you say he's 40%, like from within the paint or from the mid-range, you're like, yo, that guy can't shoot, Why? Because the mid-range is going to be a more guaranteed bucket. So for me, I think it needs to go with the more guarantee, and I agree with Lee. The defense is what we need. Most of all is his defense. And so that's my thoughts on Mikal. I think he can be a game changer for us. But I think that if we're trying to be Boston, then we're not trying to be the Knicks.
Yeah. I still feel like we have to. My thing with Boston, I already talked about this before. I feel like if Boston is going to bomb threes on us, I feel like we have to. I feel like this keep beating Boston is just beating them in the post, really. I'm not sure beating Boston, keep beating Boston is really threes, but like because they switch so much, forcing little people to guard Karl-Anthony Towns in the post and forcing them to double and get threes that way, I think is the best way, because then you're getting people into foul trouble and you're wearing them down. I think that's probably what the Knicks should do.
And the thing with Boston is it doesn't have to be a 3-for-3 competition.
Exactly.
If we do what me and Lee are talking about and our guys are locking down their 3-point shooters, then it shouldn't really matter.
Yeah. I think that's the thing that I think is going to be hard. I feel like it's going to be hard to lock down their 3-point shooters just because of the way they're constructed. Granted, the first time we played them was probably going to be one of our worst defensive outings ever, because it was the first time we even played together. So it's hard to really quantify how we will play them.
But to contrast that, that's how they're constructed. But we are constructed the way that we are constructed in order to stop them 3-point wise. That's why you have an OG. That's why you have a Mikal. That's why you have, the Knicks going out to get these elite defenders, is so that we're not constantly having to play behind because our defense wasn't able to maintain these guys. And so if you look, their 3-pointers, that first game was ridiculous. That's never going to happen again. Like that, it's just going to be nonstop. Anything they throw up is in. But the thing is they can get the 3 so much because we have to guard Jason Tatum in the mid as well. Like, because he can destroy you from the mid-range. He can destroy you from the post-up. So their 3-pointer is so effective because they can score anyway. And so you're constantly having to chase them no matter where they are. If all we are is trying to be a 3-point shooting, then we're not trying to compete with Boston, because Boston can beat you from the 3, but they can beat you in the paint as well. So to me, the key is defending them and then just scoring the way that we score, not trying to score the way Boston scores.
Yeah,
I think we do have the firepower, fully healthy, to play 5 out starters and keep up with them 3-point percentage wise. The real key there is Josh Hart. Is Josh Hart's 3-ball consistent? Then if it is, and we saw last playoffs that he at one point maybe was our best 3-point shooter, at least most consistent with him and Devo, I think we can bomb away with them. But to me, it's all about controlling the pace. Yeah, we could go 3 for 3, but are we slowing it down? Are the games under 105? If that's the case, then it really plays in our favor because then that means more opportunities for Mikhail to operate in the mid range, Brunson, Cat in a pick and roll, opposed to just relying on transition where they're going to destroy us once they're 5 out. They're too long, they're too fast, and everyone can handle the ball really well. So they don't really have a whole lot of turnovers. So if we can control the pace and slow down the ball game, I think we can then go 3 for 3.
Yeah, I can't wait to play them again. Well, actually, I could wait. I want more guys back.
Yeah, at least Precious.
I want more guys back. Our defense to me still has a long way to go. So I need to see more reps, more guys back to get our defense solidified before I see those guys again for sure. But we're gonna have time. We're gonna have time. And one of the guys' defense who I did like, Pacone Daddy, man, he should be getting more minutes. I'm telling you. Tom Thibodeau, you are a madman. All right, we're playing back to back, and we had Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges playing the entire second half. I'm glad we got the win, but man, we need to preserve these guys for back to backs and doing things like this. And Pacome Daddy might be the guy to help us do that. He's had a solid game today. Didn't have a good scoring game. He's been lethal for 3 all year, but the defense thing that Tibbs loves has been there. And he's actually, we got Matt Ryan here to be a shooter. He played 2 games, and then Tibbs said, you know what? We have a better option here in Pacome Daddy.
Facts.
Haven't seen the dude since. Congratulations, Westchester native. You played 2 games, scored what, 2 points? Hasn't he even hit a 3? I'm not even sure he's hit a 3. It's crazy. But I like what I've seen from Pacome Daddy today in his limited minutes. I just want to give a little blurb to shout out to him. That's it.
I think he deserves to play over Kolek and Hot Porty just because of the position that he plays. His ability to play the 2, 3, or the 4. And with him playing defense, specifically his excellent defense starting the pick and roll, I think he should be playing until Precious gets back. It just made sense. You can put him in a lot of the same stances that Precious will be filling on defense, and he can be effective in that without really relying on him to carry the load offensively. Yeah, it just really depends on who you pair him with. I would definitely have him out there with at least 2 of the 3 perimeter guys, and OG Hart and uh Mikal Bridges. So yeah, and probably pair him with Sims would probably be a better person for him to play it. So you have 2 strong pick and roll defenders when you're guarding PNR on an opposing team. But I like him. He's solid. And when the shot's on, it's a huge bonus.
For sure. Like him. Love dude.
Yeah. Not much to add, like the kid shows heart. The kid's got a lot of upside. I think that, if we're looking at points, obviously that's not what he's there for, but he instantly made a difference within his first minute of being out there, with his defense and making, players have to alter their shots. So I like the kid. I think he definitely needs more minutes. And here's the thing is like with Tibbs's rotation, playoffs is what matters to me. Like playoffs is what matters. I don't want to wait until the playoffs for these guys to start getting ready to actually play good minutes, where they might be needed, or wait for an injury to happen. And then those guys need to come in and learn how to play good minutes. I don't want that to be the case. I want these guys to get the burn that they need now so that when it comes time to go, hey, your number's called, we need you for more, they're able to. And it's not a giant pill that they have to swallow. So I personally want to see these guys get more time, get more, opportunities, get more reps out there, because we do have probably, in my opinion, one of the best young, rookie cores that we've had in years, potential with these guys to grow and be part of the team in the future.
Yeah, we got some good rookies, man. We got some good rookies. Salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. Next game is Knicks Wizards. We are playing tomorrow versus the Knicks Wizards. The identity of this team is still being formed. Last time, I got a little bit too ahead of myself. I was like, oh, we got the Bulls tomorrow. It's a back-to-back, but it's the Bulls. We should win. We were flat for like 3 quarters. So we're playing the Wizards. I think we should win. I hope we win. I hope we don't come out flat because it is a back-to-back. Hopefully this team has learned from the last time and not take this team lightly and just get punched in the mouth like last time. Also, Karl Anthony Towns fell on his back. And he played a little bit, got 5 fouls, but that next day is a bitch. You don't know how he's going to feel. So it's possible we can see more Ariel and Sims tomorrow because I can see Cat sitting out tomorrow. But we'll see what happens, and hopefully we beat the Wizards. And the identity that I saw the Knicks have versus the Bulls isn't the one that we had against the Wizards tomorrow. Yeah. All right. All right, yo, that's the show. Thank you guys for watching, though. We'll be back tomorrow talking Knicks basketball, Knicks versus Wizards. Fritz will be running that as well. Then I'll be back in my own spot with all the bells and whistles. So thank you guys for rocking with us for this week. Like I said before, super chats are welcome. That helps keeps the lights on. Hit that like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell too, so you know that, hey, KOT is on, and I want to check you guys out. All right. Also, if you love what Phil's bringing to the channel and to the talk, definitely check out Nick's Nightcap every Thursday night. One of the newest additions to the KOT show. Great show, great group of guys. So definitely check out that show and give that show love. All right. KOT channel growing, man. We getting there. We getting somewhere. All right. Let's get it. All right. So, any bro picks, Lee? Who picks? Any?
No. Oh, shout out to the Detroit Pistons. That's my oop pick. Pistons, top 10 in defense this year. Fired their coach and Monty Williams, who I think was largely responsible for their horrible 28-game losing streak. Had a lot of debates with my friends about whether it was the players or the coach, and I think didn't think Monty's heart was in it, and he wasn't able to connect with them as men. But now Bernie Bickerstaff is there. I mean, JB Bickerstaff, and he has those guys playing really good defense, and he's leaning into their strengths, which is a lot of long perimeter players like Thompson and Cunningham. My main man Ron Holland, who's from Duncanville, South Dallas, and they're balling. And Jalen Duren, solid pick and roll game with Jay Cunningham. He's actually starting Jay Ivey instead of bringing him off the bench and playing weird mind games with them. Like that team is firing on all cylinders, pun intended. And I liked when Detroit basketball is good. For some reason, I think they have a really good fan base, besides the Malice and the Palace. But they're a passionate fan base. And when the Pistons are good, I like those classic old school Eastern Conference teams being awesome defensively, and they seem to have found an identity. And I think Jay Cunningham has taken a step. So I got a side bet with a buddy of it that outdo their record of last year, and something really pretty good so far. Not playing yet, but they're on track, and they have a really nice young core.
Okay, shout out to the Pistons. Wait, do we still own Pistons picks?
No, I don't think so.
Damn it! All right.
Yeah, I can't remember which one we still have.
I was like, that's not a real shout out because I know a lot of those picks was not conveying, but if they starting to be good, maybe one pick will convey. Damn it, shoot. Not me. Oh, we still have Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, we still have Washington's pick, and that's never conveying.
That's the one. Yeah, Washington.
That's pretty much a second round pick. This one, yeah. Shout out to Jordan Poole. All right.
Shout out Paris Duggar. Y'all are great as a pod team. Let's go, homie. Appreciate that love.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Paris Duggar, man. I appreciate you, guy. All right. All right. All right, cool. I got nothing to add to that. Let them know where you can find you, Lee.
Actually, go on Twitter. Don't worry about me. Follow Phil's two co-hosts, Diehard Knits PC and Guard Up Knits, both at on Twitter, and as well, I think I-95 Bully and For Show 2K are also co-hosts on the show. I've been enjoying chopping up with all those dudes. Phil does a great job on the show. Appreciate you having me on there, buddy. Decided I'm gonna be on your show as a guest more than I'm not, so I'll definitely be in this upcoming Thursday to hang out and chop it up.
Awesome.
That's what's up.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, Phil. Let them know where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, Twitter, Instagram, at Phil_all_caps. But like Lee said, more so follow my co-hosts. If you go to my Twitter, you can find them there as well. It's pretty much just roundtable Knicks talks, hanging out, coffee shop, a cigar bar, pretty much just talking Knicks, talking life. And, we're excited to be part of the KOT family and continue to build this and grow this. We've been talking a lot behind the scenes, and there's big things coming. So when things kind of work themselves out and they just fit perfectly, sky's the limit. So if you can, like, subscribe, turn on your notifications for all the shows. And seriously, a simple retweet, a repost on Instagram, all that can do wonders for this channel,
Nice.
and for us really trying to pursue this. So we thank you guys for all your love and support, and look forward to continuing to build with you guys.
Well said, bro.
Really well said. This is why Phil hosts his own show, man. That's why.
Oh.
No, that's why it was a no-brainer. I was like, what? Phil here? Yes.
Let's go.
Yes. And yes. All right, cool. You already know the drill, man. You can follow us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Nick of Time Show on Instagram, and the Nick of Time Show on Facebook as well. And yeah, man, I'm just enjoying the vibes. I'm feeling the show. Thank you guys. Thank you, Phil, for joining us for sure.
Thank you guys for having me.
For sure, man. Anytime. And thank you guys for supporting the KOT Show. Bigger, better things onward, and I can't wait to show you what we have in store. So thank you guys for watching the show. We'll be back tomorrow. Talk Knicks basketball. Preach.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.